It's 2024, and if you don't have an Apple Watch, I think you're missing out on a lot of things in your life. So, this is why you need an Apple Watch in 2024. So, we're going to start off with probably my biggest use case for the Apple Watch, which is fitness tracking. This is something to me that having the data on my wrist, constantly updated, and making sure that everything's okay has just been really insightful into myself, and also getting the stats to see that I am making progress and that the work I'm putting in is seeing results. To me, that just is really beneficial, and also brings that positive mindset of, oh, I have to close those rings because I've been making all this good progress. Why stop now? So this has been something that since pretty much the second Apple Watch I've had that I've focused on a lot. Now, when the Apple Watch was first introduced in 2015, I waited a while, got one in about December of 2015 when it was released in April of 2015. So there was a good period before I got my first Apple Watch, and when I first got it, I didn't see what the whole purpose of it was. But after that, I started to religiously wear the Apple Watch every day, and it absolutely changed my life as I started holding myself accountable because I wanted to close those rings, which is what the whole fitness aspect is. It is closing those rings, and why closing those rings is such a big deal to anyone who has an Apple Watch is because the satisfaction you get from hitting your longest move streak, or doubling your move goal, or tripling your move goal, or setting a new exercise record, those are those motivators that keep you going. Now, another thing with the Apple Watch that I personally love is allowing me to go hands-free with my phone. So if I don't want to carry my phone, or if I leave my phone in another room, I can still get all the notifications and everything that I might need right on my wrist. So this is a notification machine, a computer, pretty much on my wrist. And now, the Apple Watch might not be able to do everything we want it to do yet. It can do almost pretty much everything I need it to do. So all those notifications and constantly just keeping me in the loop has been actually pretty nice. And yes, I do actually turn off my notifications sometimes just to take a break, just by turning on Do Not Disturb, which on my iPhone 15 Pro, I just press the action button, or you just swipe into Control Center on the Apple Watch and turn on Do Not Disturb. Now, because you're always connected, you can get phone calls and text messages right from your wrist, which has actually been very nice because I can't tell you the amount of times I've had hands full, double tap, answer a phone call, and continue what I'm doing while I'm talking to someone, and I'm not holding my phone up to my head or holding an AirPod or something. I can be completely hands-free and continue what I'm doing, which has actually been extremely helpful. Now, going back to the health tracking, the Apple Watch is also able to track your sleep, and this has been something to me that has been actually very beneficial over the years, as once Apple finally made it a lot better and was able to track your sleep stages, your blood oxygen, your heart rate, and everything, it's actually been able to give me this comprehensive data of how well I'm sleeping and if there's a problem. So when I got sick, it was able to tell me, like, hey, your body temperature spiked while you were sleeping, and so did your heart rate. You're probably getting sick. And then I got sick because my body was already fighting it before I felt the effects. So it essentially just let me know a little earlier, like, hey, take it light, you're getting sick, your body's working overtime. And now, just with the heart rate tracking and all that alone, allowing me to just kind of see an insight into what's going on in my body has actually been very nice to have, because I've been able to understand more what's my baseline, what's normal for me, instead of just going to the doctor once a year and hearing, oh, this is your number, and just thinking that's normal, because everyone's body is different, and being able to have this data to say, this is my baseline, this is my normal, has been very nice to have. Now, the Apple Watch also allows for Apple Pay straight from your wrist, and this is something that, even today, I always get, like, weird looks when I use, just because people either have an Apple Watch, don't know it's there, or people just don't have an Apple Watch and aren't aware that an Apple Watch can do this. So to Apple Pay on an Apple Watch, after you set it up, you just have to double click the side button and then tap your watch to the reader. And this is so much easier to me than having to pull out my iPhone and wait for it to read my face and then find the card and tap. My Apple Watch, I can just double tap the button and unlock and pay, and it makes my life so much easier, because if my hands are full or something, I can just double click, pay, go about my day, and I don't have to worry about fiddling with my wallet and credit cards and even the iPhone with having to scan my Face ID when my hands are full, because the Apple Watch is already on my wrist. So I can just double tap, or I can turn on express mode and just tap my wrist to the reader. But overall, the Apple Watch does so much for me in my daily basis. It unlocks my MacBook, it allows me to control my music, it allows me to do so much more that I almost feel weird not having an Apple Watch on me, which has actually become very interesting to me because as I said before, when I first got my Apple Watch, I almost rarely wore it, and now my Apple Watch has become such a integrated part of my life that I almost don't do anything without it now because I'm constantly connected to the world, so I know if I'm gonna get a phone call or a text that could be important that I don't want to miss. I'm learning more about my body with my health, my heart rate, my blood oxygen, and everything, and making sure everything's okay. And I'm also making sure I'm staying active by closing those activity rings. And this is just scratching the surface of why you need one in 2024, because a lot of things have gone on, and you want to be able to finally have that insight to your body. But let me know what your thoughts are down below, and also if you have any questions about an Apple Watch, leave them down below and I'll answer them, because this thing is absolutely amazing. And while you're down there, if you want to hit like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well, because it lets me know you're enjoying the content. But I want you to remember, today's a good day to make a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.